Hey, this is American Lawn Sale Fan, and I just wanted to do a quick review on something that I started using recently and I really like, so I just wanted to share it with everybody. This is the Stealth Operator inside the waistband holster. So let me just start by saying, first and foremost, I had actually started with their outside the waistband holsters because a friend of mine who owns a FFL, he really toted them and said how great they are. The selling point is that even as the package says, it can fit a host of different guns for the same holster. Basically, if you have a double stacked full compact, and in some cases even a subcompact gun, double stacked magazine, like I said, it will fit. And not only will it fit, it will still click in, it will lock in, and it will stay inside. I mean, they get when you're ready, quick pull. So this is the inside the waistband holster. If you can tell, they're pretty much the same. It's just how the setup is. The outside obviously has belt loops made for the outside. This one clips over and fits on the inside. And let me tell you why I decided to give this a try and kind of what the issue was. If you're the type like me who really just, you prefer to carry either a full size or a or even a compact gun such as the Glock 19, this is the Glock 19C. If you're somebody who likes carrying something like that rather than a really small subcompact or pocket pistol, you obviously run into a number of different concerns when it comes to holsters. But I found the most common one is, of course, some kind of inside the waistband. This is somewhat of a hybrid. It's not that they don't work well, but there's something that I found. Number one is, as far as printing, sometimes more than the grip, this clip that sits on the outside really sometimes prints more. Even though it may not look like a gun that you have under your shirt or something, it still lets the general public know that you have something under there. It's pretty thick in its profile. Another thing that I found, and I'll use this belt to just kind of show you, most, not all, but many of the inside the waistband holsters that use this kind of setup, whether it's a hybrid or whether it's a full polymer setup, if you notice the belt line, how do I put this? It's not really a deep pants carry. If you notice, the belt line goes along kind of the trigger guard and it sits up high, which of course allows it to print more, and also just even if you can't quite see the actual gun, then you will find that it just shows that you have something under your shirt, you know, especially that hot day. On a cold day, you know, when you got a jacket, sweatshirt, not so bad. But on that hot day where you're just wearing, you know, denim shorts and t-shirts, you know, it can really kind of show off. And also another thing is, because there's only, I'll put it back on, there's only one point that it's being clipped on, what I've found is it does tend to wobble. That's why you have some setups where there's a little claw, so it actually keeps this from kind of wobbling too much and kind of stabilizes. That's another reason why people do like kind of these hybrids, because they stay flat against you. Well, so getting back to the Stealth Operator one, first thing you'll notice is this is as minimalist a holster as you can get. And draw a comparison, even with this being a hybrid, if you notice, this one just has such a smaller profile. And the reason is because, unlike this one, there's no outside clip that is protruding off the thickest end. It's these really thin, these are spring steel clips, well made, that are actually attached to your belt. And if you notice, they are lower than the outside of the holster. meaning it's completely, it's just as minimal as you can get, and yet at the same time it fits in securely. And let me get back to the belt now. When you put this on a belt, obviously on the outside, and the reason these move is so that it makes it easier to put on. But if you notice, the belt line comes up a little higher than it does on most of your inside the waistband, so it has a lower profile. And most important is everything is, you know, as flat as it can get in terms of any printing. You just have the belt line, if you can see that. I mean, it just comes in smooth. The only thing that kind of protrudes from here is, in this case, is the butt of the Glock. But if you notice, it's curved to your body, and so this really does not show. It's as minimalist as you can get, and it's deep within. It's also a very, and I'll take this off again. It's a very safe holster in the sense that I've tried it with different guns, and I can tell you that the trigger guard, as you can see, is completely covered. There is nothing, you know, you can't stick a finger in there, you can't stick anything under there. The most you can do is get underneath the trigger guard, but that's going to be very, very difficult. Also, of course, if you have a striker fired pistol like this with no manual safety, what's nice about this is you can clearly look, see that any garment is cleared, the holster is cleared before you go ahead and reholster it. And as we all know, most accidental discharges with CCWs happen during reholstering. So you're able to actually lift up the garment, your shirt or whatever, and see completely down in there, see that it's clear, and then gently insert your weapon back into the holster. Can't say enough about it. Now, for the record, is it for everybody? No, it's not. So real quick, we'll go into a couple issues that people might have with it. First of all, it is not adjustable. You can see that it already, I mean, they're all built like this, both the inside the waistband and outside. You just see it's got a cant to it. It's got a ready-made cant. So if you're the type who likes it straight up and down or some kind of cross draw configuration, it's not going to work. This holster works best for someone like me who likes strong side hip. It also works for somebody like my buddy who likes it kind of at 4 o'clock around his back. But if you're an appendix guy or girl, it's not that it can't work, but it's not going to be as feasible, because this is going to be what you're looking down at. So you're not pulling it straight up, you're pulling it kind of at an angle. So that could be an issue for some people. It's great if this is on the side of your hip, like the way I like it, because I'm reaching back and I'm pulling up, and it makes the draw real smooth. And then of course, if you're behind the back, same thing. But if you're, you know, appendix carry straight up and down might be an issue. Another thing is that it is a minimalist holster. There are no sharp edges on this, but you know, a lot of things are exposed. So some of this may, you know, a lot of this is going to be against your skin. I don't see a problem with it. Just means that, yeah, you do have to clean and kind of wipe down your gun from time to time. I use Renaissance wax. It's to me, it's really worked good, keeping the finish good. But if that bothers you, it can be a problem. Also, these edges, if you're the type who doesn't like that, it can kind of cut into you a little bit. I haven't noticed a problem, but it could be an issue. I wanted a minimalist holster that is still secure and safe. And to me, it's just nothing better. I mean, this thing just, I cannot get it to, I cannot shake it just loose. Stealth Operator inside the waistband holster. They do make other types outside and different versions. They obviously make left hand as well. So check it out. They're usually they run about 35 bucks at the most. Maybe one side note is, how good is the polymer? I mean, the polymer has held up real well. I've never had an issue of it. Should this loosen over time, because it is more of a frame lock rather than the trigger guard, just to keep it going, I would probably drill a small hole, put a Chicago bolt right there just to kind of keep it tightened and secure a little longer. You could also, if these start to wear a little bit, it could easily be replaced. Just knock them loose, and then just once again use Chicago bolts for it. Something that'll stay flush with the clips, and you can keep it longer, or just buy another one like I did, in case that happens. So anyway, really like this holster. Check it out, Stealth Operator. God bless you and those you love.